guys, Kyle the Death Knight of Anime here, and I'm bringing you my episode review of Attack on Titan. This is the second season, episode 5, and the first good chunk of this episode was good. There was a lot of good bits in it, but I felt that whole flashback as a whole, it could have been there were certain parts that I think could have possibly been trimmed down, but I don't know. It's Attack on Titan. I'm sure like One Piece, even the smallest detail can probably mean everything. So yeah, that's probably why. But like I said, there were good bits in it. We first learned that Christa is the bastard child of a noble, and she was basically forced into the Survey Corps as an indirect means of killing her. And that just shows you that humanity in this world is even more fucked up than Titans themselves. Like the Titans, they only kill because it's kind of a natural instinct for them, but these humans are killing this girl for basically the simple means of these humans are killing this innocent girl for the simple means of trying to help a noble family save face, basically, because yeah, like I said, Krista was in fact a bastard child. So it's like they're killing her simply for the fact that she's not of royal blood technically. But it's like, yeah, like she is a royal blood, but at the same time she isn't. So yeah, it's really kind of fucked up, and it's really kind of fucked up in that sense. But hey, it's Attack on Titan, and the themes they show of who the bigger monster is definitely hold true here in this case. Um, Also, one thing I feel that was brought forth in here is that I think Ymir and Chris's relationship might be a little more than friendship. And for the shippers out there, I'm not talking about the lesbian thing. What I mean is that Ymir's whole mindset and the way she talks to Krista, and the way she tries to teach Krista almost certain things, I feel okay. There are certain that it is very much I mean, I feel that in a way it's there's something to the way Ymir talks, and the way she constantly tries and protects Krista, that almost seems like she's pretty much it's almost like it's almost like it's almost like she's basically she's devoted her entire life in almost like a soldier who's a soldier or bodyguard who's trying to protect a king. That's the way I feel. That's the way it seems. And granted, it does fit into the sense that his story is sort of like a bastard child of royal blood, like I said before. But it's it makes me think that there's probably a deeper meaning behind. It's almost like Ymir takes her. Ymir sees like Ymir thinks there's some kind of a it's almost like there's some kind of part in Ymir's brain that's pre-programmed to basically protect. That's pre-programmed to protect Chris to basically the absolute end of her life, even if it kills her. And which is ironic considering the last chunk of the episode, but we'll get into that later. But yeah, something I'm sure Isayama is going to cover this, but I'm sure the anime might cover this eventually. I don't think in this season, probably in season 3 if there ever is one. But yeah, there's just something about their relationship that says that it's more than just friendship, and it's not lovers, of course, but it's just a sort of blind devotion almost, that at the core of it, it seems like a blind devotion, or just a pre-programmed devotion that Ymir has to protecting Krista for some reason or another. I don't know what it is, but I'm interested in seeing where it's gonna go. Also, after we return to the present, after the whole flashback thing, we see of course the Ymir and her Titan form is fighting all those Titans, and Reiner and Bertolt say something interesting to me. They say that Ymir knows the secrets of the world. And going off what I said in my last video, I think that heavily already reinforces that, yes, we are actually getting that there will become a point where we are going to get, there's probably going to be a little bit of world building beyond, there's going to be world building beyond the walls. So I imagine, yeah, like, I feel that there is some, like I said in my, I feel there is some heavy foreshadowing right now to the fact that maybe it isn't just gonna, the story isn't just gonna remain within the confines of the walls. I think that there is gonna be a point where we are gonna do a little more exploring outside the walls, which of course at that point would mean that at some point the whole thing of I assume the scouts are gonna have a mission in order to go outside the walls even more. So yeah. Uh, Also, I want to talk for just a moment of what I consider Aaron's dumbass moment. Um, in this episode, every this near the end of the episode, all the scouts all the scouts come to the aid of Reiner, Christa, and all the scouts who were basically who were kept under watch at this point, were kept under watch, and Aaron okay, I'll give him this. It's actually one of the few times I'm actually glad he actually got a kill on a Titan even without using his Titan powers, but it was just a total fucking dumbass moment because he said, "Oh yeah, I got my first Titan kill," and then split seconds later he fumbles and flops with his gear. I'm like, fuck, Aaron, why can't you be what? I wish it could be a little more agile, a little more useful with that 3D maneuver gear. Like again, he got his first kill, but I want to see more moments like that where he's actually using his gear, but not to the point where it's floppy or he's just flopping around with it and whatnot. Also, one other thing, one other thing I think. I'm sorry, I know I'm kind of flopping here, but in that backstory, in that little flashback arc, I think it was. And one thing I also want to note about that flashback is that I feel that I feel that Ymir and Krista, that they have two different opposing ideologies in a way. Like, okay, I think it seems that Ymir and Chris actually have two similar but also differing ideologies in a way. For instance, with Ymir, she pretty much takes things at complete face value. Like when they're talking about trying to get Daz back, about trying to getting that scout. I think Daz's name, back all the way back to camp. They're dragging his body back to camp. I feel that Krista she knew in her mind that she wouldn't be able to make it to camp, but with him, but she wanted to try. She wanted to do it. She wanted to try her damnedest in order to get him back, even if it meant she herself would end up dying in the process. Whereas Ymir was like, leave him. He's got one foot in the grave already, and the two of us who are still healthy and living are ones that need to survive. And I feel that is kind of showcasing a bit of another harsh reality, which is, in order to survive, yes, as much as we hate to admit it, we humans, we will actually be willing to, in order to step over one another in order to survive. And yeah, I love Attack on Titan for this because it does show in the base of its whole fantasy element, the stuff that you think couldn't exist. It actually shows a lot of realism about us as human beings and humanity in general. And it's like, yeah, it's fucked up, but we can't it's fucked up, but we can't exactly deny that these things exist, honestly, or that these elements within humanity exist. It's just kind of there. Also, at the end of the episode, we learned that we learned Krista's real name is Historia, and well, like I said, we definitely know we definitely know at this point she's basically the bastard child of a noble, but it makes me wonder as to why. It makes me wonder as pretty much as pretty much why they would pretty much why they would force her to change her first name. I mean, if she's the child of a noble, then it would only make sense to only change her last name, not her first. So I wonder why the complete change of her name, or why they decided to, or why she decided to basically just hide her identity and hide her identity in general. It's obvious that something big is going on, but I assume again at this point it's probably something we're gonna have to wait for season 3 in order to wait for. But assuming there is a season 3, but yeah, like honestly, like I've read the manga, so I know what's happening after these 12 episodes, but it and I will admit that the last chunk of the next arc isn't the most thrilling maybe to some, but it is still pretty interesting stuff and in the world building aspect. So I do hope that they do get a season 3 out too. But anyway, guys, yeah, that's my review of Attack on Titan season 2 episode 5. Another great episode. I honestly like that first half. I think could have been cut down, but it's whatever. But yeah, guys, that's my review. It was an okay episode. Yeah, it was an okay episode. I wish we could have. I wish you could have chopped down a little bit of that first chunk, but yeah, it was still good stuff for what it was, and of course, yeah, we learned a lot about Christa and Ymir, and yeah, it should be interesting to see where the series goes from here. And imagine pretty soon we're gonna get full on disclosure about what exactly is going on with Reiner and Bertolt. But yeah, guys, I'm rambling on now at this point. So yeah, that's my review. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed the video, or follow me on Twitter and Facebook. Death Knight of Ymir, signing off. Later, guys.